planting shape when installing your hydroponics?
So, first of all, my name is Davis Thuo, and I am an urban farmer and a qualified farmer too. So the reason why I have slanting design is because of the gravity. We allow gravity to work on this. That's where we apply physics and some kind of it. So when it's slant, when the water gets in that side, always the water will just follow the gravity and the water will come down. As the water comes down, the roots will get the nutrients, which is from the water. And as the water goes, it rotates through all the pipes with the gravity, and it gets back to the source where the pump is. Also, the same applies to that system.
So at all points, even if we have the gravity, we still need to pump the water.
Yes, because we have different kind of hydroponic. We have deep water culture where the water is just stagnant and doesn't move. And we have NFT, nutrient film technique, whereby a film of water with nutrients just flow through the pipes, and as the vegetable absorb little by little. And like in the deep water culture where the roots are just inside the water. That's why we allow the movement of water with that slope.
I'll come back to you to talk to me about the different materials that are required to set up your hydroponics. But before we get to that, Otieno, how sustainable is the use of hydroponics? Kwa ule mtu ambaye pengine anaiona kwa mara ya kwanza, or they have really not interacted with the benefits of using it, anajiuliza, is this enough to feed many people? Can we embrace this as a country? Maybe you can talk to us if this method of growing crops is sustainable, and maybe which countries in the world are very advanced in the use of hydroponics.
Sure. So the first thing is, yes, the system is very sustainable and it has the potential to feed as many people as we can be able to feed. So the countries that are currently heavily on this kind of system is Sweden and Netherlands, since this is whereby they are kindly doing it under indoors system because of their climatic conditions. So in Kenya we are quite endorsed with the climatic conditions whereby our weather is very favorable for us. But you know, for our context, coming from the informal settlement of Dandora, we have limited spaces. So these systems are designed to fit in our balconies or that small space that you have on your lot to be able to produce. Currently, as you can see, these vegetables are quite healthy and this can sustain a family.
Ini mboga gani tumepanda hapa?
Hapa tuko na managu. Yeah, this is a traditional vegetable which is more nutritious, unlike all these kumawikis. So people should resort to such vegetables as they are more food sovereign to us, unlike all these exotic vegetables that people get access to. And the other thing is on issues around food safety. The water that we are using to produce our food is quite secure. Unlike our context, people use the sewer lines to feed the vegetables. So this is the type of perception that we are trying to shift for our people in Dandora. So this is our more sustainable way of farming, as it saves on water, yet you get more harvest, the limited space.
How often do you harvest?
So we do it on a weekly basis once it has matured. That takes like 30 days to mature after transplanting, but from then you harvest on a weekly basis.
So what I'm picking from you is in the future, the same way tunakuanga na go downs whereby we put equipment, we should start thinking about having such rooms of such magnitude when we are doing hydroponics.
And the same thing has also been displayed on this series called Snowpiercer. They are actually advocating for such climate smart technologies to be able to feed the future.
Now moving to you, Sylvester, you are a pro in black soldier fly farming, and I want you to talk to us about how you collect your garbage and also where you get them, because a lot of people talk about how getting garbage in Nairobi, as much as we generate a lot of it on a daily basis, sometimes the collection centers are not very well structured. How do you collect your garbage?
Basically, we as Lucky Summer Environment and Waste Management Organization are working on the waste collection in Lakisama ward. Basically, we collect waste management in Lakisama ward for every household. And as a person who works directly in the grassroots, most of the 60% of the waste that we collect in Lakisama is organic waste. And so we had to come up with an idea. What can we do to make sure that this organic waste does not end up in the landfill? Because when the process of decomposition of the organic waste leads to production of methane and peroxyacetate nitrates, these are gases that contribute to global warming.
Right.
So we came up with the idea of black soldier fly farming.
Right.
So the black soldier fly farming, the larvae mostly feeds on the organic waste, 60% in mass and volume of the organic waste, and the lifespan of the larvae is around 1 to 2 weeks. So in that period, it consumes a lot of organic waste, leaving behind byproducts which can be sold as in form of organic fertilizer flush. Also, the pupa themselves and the larvae can be sold to chicken farmers, to fish farmers, and to pig rearing. So this project is actually sustainable because it helps curb the climate action part and also manage waste sustainably.
Great. It's very nice listening to you at only 22 years old, explaining in depth about black soldier flies and how they play a very big role when it comes to saving our environment from the effects of climate change. Now, when you say you collect your garbage from different households, is it door to door? Do you knock? Do they receive you well? Do you have a hard time wengine wanakufukuza? How does that work?
We started our organization in 2017. During that period, we did not have good terms with the community because there were issues of insecurity and socially immoral activities in the area. So the community took it hard to trust us at the moment. But right now, the community works with us well. Actually, they say that if Lemo does not manage their waste, then no other organization, waste pickers, should manage their waste.
Right.
So we have good terms with the community, and we work with them well, and they are helping us implement some of the waste innovations.
Great. So sasa mshazoeana, ukiendea takataka wanakupatia vizuri.
Ukiendea wanakupatia vizuri.
Do you do it weekly?
Yeah, we do it on a weekly basis, on Tuesday and on Saturday.
Great. Now I'll come to you, Davis, and it's very important for Sylvester and his whole team to collect garbage from different households. But then again, there's the important aspect of segregation of this waste, which we are not doing, all right? And when you do not segregate your waste, it loses value. Are we doing any sort of sensitization to help different people in the community understand a lot more about why we need to segregate? What is the challenge in there?
Yeah, for me, all I can say, we are doing awareness mostly to Mama Mboga, so that those waste, they should not end in the river or in the dump sites. So we encourage them to keep for us, and we collect from them. And as we continue, we're making more awareness because we are doing community cleanups together with such organizations like LIMO, like Summer Environment and Waste Management, so that as we collect the wet waste and the organic waste, we dry them and we add value.
Right.
And at some point, we are going to a point whereby we want to make it as a competition in the community at household level, whereby when people they separate their waste at household level, we can buy from them because they will be helping us doing the sorting at household level. And for us, it will be easy for us not to separate again because it's already separated at household level.
Kwa hivyo ule utapata amesegregate, utamuona kakitu.
They get some points, but they can redeem.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Is that a future that you're looking forward to? Are we doing sensitization on the segregation? What needs to be done so that we can achieve that?
Actually, we have done a lot of community awareness and community engagement in the segregation part, but the main problem actually is the infrastructure. Currently, we only offer them one plastic bag to put their waste. But now when you tell that person to segregate the waste, that person maybe is not willing to stay with a large amount of waste in their houses. And you have not even given them the 2 bags where we can segregate.
Great.
So on the part of public awareness and engagement, we have actually done a lot. Now we are trying to move a step further and try to bring more stakeholders so that we can put better infrastructure. Because if you want to change without better infrastructure, then maybe it might be difficult for the community, for their behavior on waste segregation to change.
Great. So what I'm picking from you is the awareness is there. They understand the importance of segregating the waste. The challenge there is infrastructure and also the resources. Kwa sababu bagi ya takataka unapewa moja. So we need to work on that. Great. Thank you so very much for that, Sylvester. Otieno, coming back to you. You told me something very interesting that I'm very curious to learn more about on the show, that these buckets yenye mtu anaona hapa chini, I can keep fish. And this fish, the water that's from here, can go back to my plants. Talk to me about that.
So basically, what we have tended to do is, we, as Chami Organics, it's an organization and a growth for change that is currently focused on researching and developing on these sustainable food systems, waste management, and also access to clean water. But the aspect of fish now is brought in by the recirculating aquaculture system, whereby the system now, the fish, you know, its excrete is rich in urea.
Right.
So the urea passes first through the biofilter, and again, we have to feed it through this system, and the plants consume the nitrites now, which is very rich in nitrogen. That's why you see that our leaves are quite green.
Right.
So on our systems back in our areas, you can find the systems in Madare, Korogocho, Dandora, and also Njiro. So that is our location whereby you can find the recirculating aquaculture system and the aquaponics now in it.
Right. So instead, kwenda kubuy different fertilizers and other chemicals that you can use here, you use it organically from the fish. And so you get more money from also selling the fish.
So what we're tending to do is promote the organic farming aspect in it. Because as you have realized, the cost of fertilizer is always skyrocketing, and also all these other inputs. So what is sovereign about our dealings in agriculture? The sovereignty part comes from us using the organic way and the lowest cost ghetto-engineered. Like you've seen, this is from the Hydroponics Africa. You could realize that they have used the plastic cups. For us, we are foregoing the use of plastics, which is not sustainable as it is polluting our environment. That's why you are seeing our roots are quite healthy and our plants is growing very robustly.
Great. Thank you very much for that, Otieno. We do want to take another break right now, but when we come back, we'll get into more details because here we are using soilless farming. And what we have, let's just show them how that looks like. Mtu asishangae when you say soilless, what's going on here? So please describe this is.
That is mixture of pumice, which are the volcanic rocks, and the coconut shell.
Right, coconut and pumice. All right, we'll want to find out nikitaka kuanza pale kwangu kwa balcony yangu, where do I go for my pumice and the coconut? Sindio? That and more will be